Good night, everybody. Welcome,
Welcome,
welcome.
guys. Welcome, welcome.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Good night. Come on in. Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you get in, you know what to do. Go ahead and double tap the screen. Go ahead and share the live. Let somebody know that we are live and we are ready. Welcome. Good night, everybody. Come on in. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Good to see you guys. Welcome.
Good to see you. Go ahead and share who you are, where you're from. Say hello. Come on in. Come on in. Go ahead and share, share, share. Go ahead and share the live. Share the live. Go ahead and double tap. Go ahead and like and share. Like I said, let somebody know that we are here. We're live. We're live. We're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another Thursday night live. We are here with another interesting topic for
Yes, yes.
discussion. We are going to be talking about something that may be a secret struggle for many, but we want to address, you'd say, the elephant in the room.
Room.
But before we go to that, let us quickly introduce ourselves. So, I am Shanice Lilo Bogle, and I'm a trauma and relationship specialist. I specialize in that area. I am also an educator, an author, you name it. But in the capacity of tonight, I'm here with my husband and founder and co-host of this channel, When Two Become One. Um, your name?
My name is Anthony Bogle,
And what do
guys.
you do?
Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm a marriage and relationship speaker. And also, I'm an author, guys. Again,
Whoop,
guys,
whoop.
go get my book. Go get my book, The Great Reset by Anthony Bogle on Amazon.
Yes.
God bless you guys. Welcome.
So like the ending.
Yes.
But welcome again, everybody. And we are the channel When Two Become
One, one,
One.
one, one.
And we are on here on a Monday and a Thursday. We talk about all things healing, emotional healing. We talk about healing after trauma, especially. We also talk about emotional development, emotional intelligence as an individual and as a couple. We're also big on growing spiritually in the Lord and operating as a God divine, God purposed and aligned couple and individual.
Yes,
And so we want to thank our day ones who've always been here with us.
yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, 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 hi.
Welcome,
Welcome from
guys.
Brazil. Big up Brazil.
Bless up, Brazil.
Cesar
Bless up yourself.
Garcia.
Blessings.
Welcome, welcome, Smoke Dog. Welcome. Smoke Dog in the house. Okay, welcome, guys. So, we're here tonight to talk about a topic that is a secret struggle for a lot of individuals, a lot of couples.
Yes.
And we want to just shed some light on this topic. It is who should initiate intimacy. We don't want to say the word just in case YouTube, So who should initiate sex or intimacy in a marriage or a couple? Or a relationship, sorry. So who should initiate in a relationship, in a marriage? Who do you
Hey, Samantha. Blessings.
Hi, Samantha. Blessings. So, before we ask, or even I ask you the question, and if you had any type of idea as to how you were raised to answer that question, did your cultural background actually impact your answer for that question?
Yeah.
Who should initiate sex in a marriage, in a relationship?
What I do believe, culture, in a sense, I would say, in a
For
sense,
you.
yeah, in a sense. Why? Because, again, we were brought up to, to be assertive, to be, the leader, to be
We who?
dominant,
As in
as
men?
men, as men.
Okay.
And so, you realize that over time,
Yeah.
you find yourself, just pursuing whoever it is that whether you want to get into a relationship with,
Yeah.
or being the one to go after what you want, pretty much. And so I feel like that is something that really has formed our mindset as men,
Yeah.
coming up in our society to realize that, listen, women were considered the prize.
Oh.
Women were considered the prize. So whatever it is that you want, you have to
Yeah.
go after it. And so
Okay.
that is the perception that was formed in us.
In
As,
you?
yeah,
So
as
you
men,
thought
yeah.
that? So you genuinely feel like a man should or maybe you believe that before that a man should be the one to
Yeah,
initiate.
yes, definitely, definitely.
Do,
Go
do
after what you want, man.
okay.
Go after what you want.
So do you believe that in a marriage that a man should initiate intimacy more than a woman, or they should always be the one doing it?
I don't think, and why I say that, because one, in a marriage is based on communication. Both persons, having the conversation, having the discussion, and I get it. Sometimes, and even if we should use us as an example, we
Yeah.
we never really focus so much on who is supposed to be the one to initiate intimacy. I just
Yeah.
know that, listen, I am the man, and this is what I have known
Yeah.
since growing up.
So it felt normal for you to
Yeah.
be the one to always reach out. Now let us just pause, and thank you for sharing that so far. Let's just pause to throw some statistics in there that a lot of couples are struggling with this.
Yes.
And it seems so much like something that is light, or something that, oh, everybody knows that everybody should do it. But at the same time, there are a lot of people who are afraid to actually own the show in their bedrooms, own the show in their marriages, because it is a much deeper issue than what is on the outside. And based on what research shows is that when you have, even if, why should even we even have the question coming up,
Yeah.
who should initiate? This should be something that it's a breezer, right? But it's not. So the fact that there is actually a struggle with this, it goes to show that people are actually struggling with deeper issues on the inside, deeper problems, deeper challenges that would make this process uncomfortable. And so tonight we want to look at the root of some of these problems, these issues. Why are people actually struggling to share this kind of communication and this mutual connection in their relationships? So first of all, I want to look at, you shared one, the cultural background. Why is it that society portray in the movies, in cultures, in music, like men are the aggressor, women are the prize, and a man should just always, ask for what he wants
Or go for
or go for what you want?
Yes.
Isn't it that the woman also have the same desire? And so you shared one, and I want to look at the other one. So the one you shared was the gender conditioning, or the gender role conditioning,
Based
or
on
was it the
culture.
culture?
Yeah, culture. Yes.
And so another one, a big one, is historical and religious influence. When you look at why is it that men are seen as the one in the marriages right now, a lot of wives may lay back more and say, he didn't say anything, he didn't show any interest, so he's not interested. And we forget that men also feel rejection. Men also, is that true? Men feel rejection. Men
Yeah,
also
yeah,
want to be
yeah,
desired by a
definitely.
woman initiating.
Definitely,
So the
definitely.
historical and the religious influence is that in a lot of religious, cultural, and practices, sex is framed to be a man's job. Sex is framed to be a man's job, and it's like a man having the need and a woman on duty. So there is this connotation to intimacy that, oh, a man is the one with the need, but the woman is the one who is on duty. And I don't know if there's any wife online who actually feels that way. Like it's another thing to be added to her plate, another job to do. Especially when women become wives and they're, bombarded with housework and children and their jobs and personal development and husband duties. It feels like another task on the list. So, what do you have to say regarding the religious and the cultural practices? Do you think church life helped to create that kind of feel towards why a woman would lay back, or why a man is expected to go after what he wants?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to our religious background, and it's something that we've spoken about, where
Yeah.
Sex is not something, or when it comes down to that road, it's not something that is talked about a lot in our
Yeah.
churches. And so you have a lot of persons, especially as men, we come up with
Yeah.
that same the same mindset. And women,
Yeah.
you come up with the same mindset in how you deal with sex, or you deal
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the intimate aspect. And so when you get into marriage,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. And so feeling like you, as a woman, stepping out of your comfort zone to initiate feels like something bad.
Yep.
You
Feels
understand?
dirty.
Yeah. And
Yes.
a man that was out there, whether he's used to having multiple partners, or just being in a committed relationship,
Yeah.
it's a little deeper, or it might be a little deeper, or a little different, should I say, where it's there was no boundaries, pretty much. When I say no boundaries, meaning that both persons were on the same par, same mindset. The woman will initiate whenever she wants, or he would, initiate whenever he wants.
Yeah.
And so they're riding on the same frequency. So I do feel like, when you get into the church, it's a whole different
Yeah.
world,
The
because
purity is
yeah,
kind of like packaged as,
yeah.
yeah.
And why so different? Because you have so many, especially females, that were brought up in the church, that has never experienced
Yeah.
anything outside of that. So it's like a baby now
Right,
being
right,
ushered
right.
into the world, or ushered into marriage, and not understanding or knowing what to expect.
And
You
yeah,
understand?
that's a good point. And there goes, we tie that into even the double standard of intimacy, because you can have a double standard with this, where, sometimes the men are praised for a high desire, and, that set the standard for, okay, it's a man's need and a woman's duty. So that's the double standard with that. A woman doesn't want to seem desperate because of culturing and cultural conditioning. A female would not want to appear as she is desperate or she's fast. And so, because we're taught that when we're growing up, or culture promotes that, and the man is the aggressor, we have this double standard. And so, sometimes it looks like the desires and the needs are not mutual. It tends to look more like, okay, it's the man's job, so they are actually praised, but the woman is shamed. And so with
Yes.
a culture with the woman being shamed and the man being praised, the woman is going to promote and carry and perpetuate that lifestyle in her marriage. Because if she was never the one doing that outside of the marriage, and when you get married, you're not just gonna find a switch, just turn on. And that's why a lot of husbands will have to be compassionate with their wives who are kind of stuck in a certain way, who feel shame. Do you know that there are some women who feel shame to actually initiate intimacy?
Yes.
There are a lot of females who are ashamed, who feel a little bit dirty, feel a little bit icky, because there's this vulnerability that is linked to initiating intimate activities, right?
Yes.
We don't want YouTube to flag us, so we're trying our best to
Yes.
speak
It's a mindset.
coded, right? So it is a mindset, true. But when something is programmed in the subconscious mind, last week we talked about that, it is not easy to actually feel like you want to initiate. Because remember now, guys, initiation is not just, oh, I'm going to initiate and I'm just going to show him and tell him what I want. It comes with it's linked to your body. It's linked to the body experience as well. And so this is why they say a woman, well, you'll have to be careful how you treat her in the day so she can, perform in the night, because it's not going to be just, oh, just do it, initiate. It's a choice, it's a mindset. It's also a feeling.
Yes.
It's also a feeling, big time.
Yeah,
So,
I do agree. And another thing I wanted to bring out is that you know, for a woman, and I've always said this, for a woman, when it comes to relationship, it's about safety. You
yeah,
understand? For a woman,
yeah,
it's really about safety. For a man, it's about validation.
Yeah.
It's about letting him feel desired.
Right,
And
right,
don't get me
right.
wrong,
Stroke that
women like to
ego.
be desired
Double
and
tap the screen, guys. Go ahead and like the live. Sorry.
women like to feel desired and all of that, but it's not the first thing that
Yeah.
comes to mind.
Yeah.
Especially if you're safe in your own skin. We talk about identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you have some women, their identity is found, in a man saying that, you look good,
Right.
I want you, I this and I that. But it's not always the first thing when it comes to a woman. It's really about safety. This person lets me feel safe. With a man, he will do every and everything that you desire as a woman, just to get that from you, where validation is concerned.
Desire.
He wants to feel validated. He wants to feel desired.
Yeah.
And so that is something that is big for a man. And so as a woman, a lot of times I feel like wives forget, or they really don't tap into really understanding the mind of a man and really what makes a man tick. And so, because again we go back to how we were conditioned growing up, the mindset and society and all of that type of stuff, you get into the relationship feeling like, okay, every time we get there, the time to do,
he's going to do
he's going to be the one to come over and say, listen, this is what I want, this is, I'm going after, because he's always considered the pursuer.
So if a woman doesn't do that, hey, how are you? Hey, stranger. Good to see you. Good to see you. You need to tell me how you're doing. So, question. Are you saying, so what is it from the mind of a man? What is it that you guys feel, or what is that you feel if a woman does not, or if I don't initiate? What is it that you feel? What's the language? What's the message that is sent to you as a man?
Unworthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies,
honest,
are you listening? Wives, are you listening?
You feel unworthy. You're not feeling desired. And that is why a lot of men,
That's a strong one, unworthy.
yeah, again, it comes from validation. It comes from basically how we were made, how we were created, how we were formed.
Yeah.
In our headspace. You have men that will go out of them way just to do certain things to feel like, okay, you are the it. Some, you spend your last.
You, as in the man, is the it.
Yeah.
The man is the it, right?
Yeah, you would buy an expensive car, even though you don't have the money. You go out of your way and you buy the most expensive this. You would do this, you would do that, just to get something of substance for a woman to look at you and say, listen, he's the it. You get what I'm saying? So,
question. That's a good point. Do you feel like there's any change in the desire of a man when he's single versus married, in terms of his sexuality, his appeal to females? Because maybe we think that this turns off when they get married, and the interest is not really there to prove that I am the it. So we don't really hear men talk about these things openly, and maybe I don't want to say honestly, but is a man's desire the same? What's the drive of a man regarding how he's seen? Is it different in single days versus marriage?
in singleness, I'll start by saying, in singleness, you have so much to prove. Right? Because you are not locked into one person, so you're always proving. You always feeling like you have something to prove. You know how you dress, how you talk, how you walk. You understand your approach to the opposite sex. There's always something to prove.
Okay.
But when you get married, you have somebody in your corner that you say, okay, she knows me. Right? She knows.
So that's
me.
the desire. That's what you're going there wanting from this female.
Yeah, meaning that you start out with this female, okay, you find everything that you're looking for in this female. She loves you, she desires you, all that type of stuff. So when you take that person to become your wife, you are no longer stressing about if she love me, if she want me. you know, if she desire me, like,
Yeah.
you know, you feel there's like a safe space for you,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to worry, okay, does she like when I do this, does she like when I do that? You feel like you've met somebody that you're safe with. And so you don't feel like you have to do the extra stuff. You don't have to buy you know, expensive things. You don't have
Right,
to
right,
say
right.
all the right
Yeah.
things for her to love, because you say, okay,
Her yes
this is my wife, yeah.
validated.
And so
Okay.
you feel like you have a safe space. So that is why for a lot of men in these situations it's
Yeah.
rough, because you have not committed your life to somebody
To
that,
one.
yeah, you're saying this is forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You've committed your life to somebody, say, this is forever.
Yeah.
I have forsaken all.
All others.
You understand? You could have been roaming the street, finding, you know, hopping from one person to another.
Yeah.
But you choose to commit yourself to this person to say, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping that this person can complete me. When I say complete, meaning that you can, you know, you understand, be there in every aspect that,
Yeah.
that makes me feel like I am worthy, I am this, I am that. And so when that is not reciprocated,
Yeah.
it really takes a toll.
On the marriage, yeah.
You're right. It takes a toll, not just on the marriage, but it takes a toll
On the
on
person.
that man.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
even when it gets to the sexual aspect, imagine he was the type of person that being out there, he's exposed to different
Yeah.
things. You know, feeling desires, like desired. No, the women were not turning him down, like right, and that was going on for him. And
Yeah.
to meet somebody now that is, it's like, and I always say, sex becomes like a delicacy.
Yeah.
Every blue moon, you know,
Every 4 weeks.
every 4 weeks, like every
Rare.
3 days, you know, and
Yeah.
before you were doing it like almost every day,
Yeah.
right? And again, we understand like there are different things that come into play when you get married, you know, kids and this and that and whatever it is. But at the same
Yeah.
time, for a man, especially a man that is in his quote unquote prime,
Prime.
sex is big.
Okay.
Sex is important.
Yeah.
We're wired that way, right? We
Yeah.
were wired that way. So
Yeah.
so going from getting it frequently to getting it once every blue
Delicacy.
moon,
Yeah.
it's a problem. And then
Okay.
not just that, is really how it is brought across when it comes to shutting him down.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like how,
Yeah.
yeah, because you have some persons, you have some women that or some wives that, you know, how you say it. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Right? And
Yeah.
how you go about it can really throw that man off in how he really feels and how he really views you
Yeah.
when it comes to
To intimacy.
intimacy.
Okay, you've said a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of great nuggets. So what I'm hearing you say is that the bottom line of it is they hope, a man hopes that after he's put out and forsaken all others and
Yeah.
have chosen you as a wife or us as a wife, we should be actually transferring that and matching that same energy to show or to express that, hey, you're also desired. You said yes, and that was my validation. And so the action now is show me that you validate me through this act, because this is what we turned on for you. So I feel like that is that what men say, like, okay, we
Yeah.
turned on them for you, so now show me that you're willing to, match that. Because why else wouldn't you want to if we already forsaken all others for
Exactly.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
We get that. We get that. And I hope that more females, because I know this is one desire that you have to really use the platform to express authentically how women and especially young wives should, or we hope, we're suggesting that this is understood in a marriage, that it is absolutely understood, that it is clear that marriage is not a dalios and it's not a when I feel you feel, but it is a serious commitment. It's an absolutely serious commitment. So another one that we look at is the sexual double standard. Why is it that culture puts men out there to be the aggressor more in the bedroom, in marriages? So we have the power dynamic. The man, they say it's a man's world. James Brown said it's a man's world,
Yes.
because men hold authority, right? Biblically, etc. But this is also pushed into intimacy. It's a man's world. So did we answer that question? Who was supposed to um dominate that area? No, we didn't answer
not
it.
in
So
not in
what do you
details.
think?
Not in details.
Let's wrap back around. What do you think?
Um.
Initially you said
All
culture
right. So
said
so
you.
all right. So all right. So I will say this. I will say this. I will say this.
You say
I will say
it.
this. Again, validation for a man is important, right? Especially when it comes to intimacy, it is important.
Okay.
And so it's easy for me to point it over on the wife, right? It's easy to say, listen, the wife should initiate, but I do feel like both parties should feel like we both desire each other.
Yeah,
Right,
true.
I feel like it should be an open communication where we both understand that, listen, I desire, because
Yeah.
there are going to be moments where I might just be feeling tired or feeling, feeling under the weather,
Yeah.
but you need it, right? And so it doesn't change the fact that, listen, if you want to, if you want to, fine. If you want to, fine. If I want to,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But again, it's
You remember what Kadra said today? Kadra said, who want it initiated? But
Yeah.
I was saying that, you have some couple, you have some spouses who would say, okay, all right, he's not well. I'll wait until next week until he's well, or I'll wait until next week until she's well, because who want it initiated? So
yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, so I do feel like it can be on both ends, but at the same time, again, because of the whole dynamic of a
Yeah.
man pursuing, especially if you start out, this person, you get married, and he's just constantly
Doing the
being the aggressor.
yeah.
You understand, without any issues with any thoughts or whatever it is, he's just doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I feel like the woman on the other end should step in
Yeah.
and let that man feel desire, like
Yeah.
let him feel like, okay, you don't have to do all the extra stuff, like you want. And,
Yeah.
and I feel like, again, I always say this: marriage is about serving each other,
Yeah.
right? It's about serving each other. It's about
Yeah.
serving each other. I can't stress it enough. If you don't know how to serve, if you don't feel like you can really put yourself out there where you're of service,
Yes.
leave marriage alone.
In mind, body, and soul.
Right? Leave,
Yep.
yeah, leave it alone, because again, it's both person coming to the table and,
Yeah.
and being willing to serve each other. Like, listen,
Yeah.
and no strings attached, because I believe when you're at that place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually,
Physically.
sex becomes unconditional.
Yep.
What am I saying?
Meaning, I get
Not sex.
Yeah.
Love becomes.
but I get that too. I
love,
get the point.
yeah, love becomes unconditional.
Yeah.
It's not based on, oh, if you do this, me do this, because
Yeah.
you have women, wives, and this is something that is out there strongly, that weaponize sex.
And that is why I say I get the point
Yeah.
regarding the sex.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
unconditional, right?
People weaponize it,
Right.
And when I say weaponize it, it doesn't necessarily have to be from a bad place.
Right.
It could be, and I think I've said it to you, that for me, I don't want you to approach sex like, okay, boy, I'm seeing him wash up the plate today, so he deserves some. No, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
But some people would say, but isn't that a good place? A nice little place to come
No,
from
no,
as
no,
well.
no. While I do understand that, but I'm
like
saying,
a reward.
Yeah, like a reward, like reward. If you do this good, we reward you with this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like sex should be,
Always
intimacy
that
should
side.
be along that line.
All the time.
Well, it's why I say, listen. You see what? Listen what I mean.
Yeah, say your thoughts.
Once you say it's a reward, then you look at the fact that, okay, isn't this something that should be normal in a married couple's life?
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
If you say reward, no, it must be that you're
special.
leaving. Let's say you're leaving the house and you're going to buy me something nice, and you're going to bring it in and say, babe, I'm not lying, I see you do this, so I'm buy you the sneakers here, I'm buy you the shirt here.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But sex, especially when it comes to sex, I believe our intimacy, I believe it's a no, or it should be
It should
a
be
natural and a normal thing
mutual communication
in marriage. You
connection.
understand?
Yeah, yeah.
And that is why you have a person that says, listen, you know, or it is out there that women, you see, you don't do this, man, again, no. You don't, you know, you're not getting
You
it.
lock shop.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, to go back to what you're saying is that I believe because of the wiring of a man,
Yeah.
it's good to say, babe, step back and let me please you.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Step back and let me please you, because at the end of the day, it helps to rewire your mind where you feel safe in your skin.
Yeah. Who? The woman
the
or
woman,
the man?
yeah. You feel safe in your skin. You feel safe, again, if you're safe in your marriage. If you're safe in knowing that, listen, what I bring to the table is something good.
Right.
And both can enjoy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, like, you understand?
Because I feel like, you know, you basically teach a woman to suppress initiation, you know. We teach women indirectly and directly to suppress that part, because you, again, you don't want to seem cheap, and you grow up with that mentality that if you express certain things, which I do understand and agree with to a great extent, where okay, a woman is, the Bible say, he that findeth a wife, so you don't just go chasing after men like that. And I believe that process is perpetuated into unhealthy areas, that when it's no time, not because of God's fault, but when it's no time for this action to be switched around into the bedroom, it's hard. It's a problem, it's a challenge for many. And so that's a beautiful segue to actually highlight the biases, the power dynamics that's actually pushed into the bedroom as well, where women are trained to suppress even when they want intimacy.
Yes.
Even when they want it, women are suppressing. And so that is a cultural conditioning. It can be religious conditioning as well, the power dynamic, the performance pressure, the sexual double standards, the historical and religious double standards, the media and culture. Pop culture is a big one. And so it brings us into a very important part that a lot of people don't necessarily go into. Anybody who you see is in a relationship or a marriage and they're afraid to take off them clothes and initiate or go over and touch and feel on their partner, there is a deeper issue. A lot of times there are deeper challenges, root causes, like we normally say on this channel. There are root causes. And so we're going to go into a few of them. The fear of rejection.
Yes.
Maybe you never had a name to why you don't feel whole into just going over your spouse's side. Maybe you never knew what it was called, but tonight we're hoping you can put some things into perspective. So one of them is you pull back because of the fear of rejection. You don't want to be turned down. You don't like to hear that, guess what? You are not the it for that person. So your self-worth gets affected. And if your self-worth is affected and you already struggle with that, then you're going to be hypersensitive to rejection, even in intimacy. Another part of that rejection is you don't want to be embarrassed.
Yes.
You don't want to be embarrassed. And so what do? You deny your own self. You reject even yourself in the process because you want it, but you're not going for it. You're just stepping back and you're hoping and praying and crossing your finger that they move to you, but you don't want to step to them. Who do you feel more rejection in intimacy? The man or the
Men.
woman? You
know,
feel like men?
I saw a video a couple weeks ago where you know, you were talking about, you know, the whole sexless marriage and stuff like that. And you realize it was a kind of a short video. It was a short clip. But I ran straight to the comment section just to, you know, see what the response would be. And 99.9% were men.
Yeah, what they were saying.
Yeah, were men. And it was really just pouring out like, hey, you know, and they were all married men. It's not like single men and they were saying this. They were 99.9 were married men,
Yeah.
and they were just discussing, whose marriage has broken up because of it.
Wow.
They try to, initiate sex and they're turned down. Like there's so many different things, and so you realize that this
Needy.
is real.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm saying
Absolutely.
to myself, like, what could cause a woman? And I get it, there are so many different reasons. But you do have some say, listen, I've been faithful for 10 years, I've been faithful for. Remember, they're
Yeah.
not talking to their wives,
They're
Like you
telling.
will say, listen, he's lying.
Yeah.
He's basically venting to the public, like, hey, I've been, this for 10 years, 15 years, and this is what is going on in my marriage. Sex is like non-existent.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
going on, that is going on, and then you realize how deep it
Oh,
is.
yeah, it's a big struggle.
It's
a big struggle.
It's deep, and so there was one that stood out to me, and it's something that I really do think about, or I've thought about also, is that when a woman denies a man sex, especially if it's on a frequent basis,
Yeah.
there's a seed that is planted in that man's subconscious.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's a seed that is planted in that subconscious where he starts to resent you as his wife, right? He starts
Come
to,
on.
yeah, he starts
Yep.
to resent you as his wife.
True.
Over time, the more you say no, the more you say this, the more you find some,
Yeah.
we quote unquote say excuse
Yeah.
to not get, to connect with that man. He
Wow.
looks at it as, hey, I am not worthy. I'm not, as I said, he's not desired. Like why this, why that, and there's so many things.
Yeah.
And he builds up that resentment. There's one that stood out also, where this man was saying that it's so often that what he would do is that he will go to the other room, or will go downstairs to the couch, and then when when it's morning,
Yeah.
he will just pretend like everything is good, smiling and just operating like a real father. Like if they have kids, he will take out the garbage.
So he's just playing the role.
Yeah, but deep down, he's dying.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deep down, he's
Yeah.
dying because he's not getting that affection. He's not getting, that connection when it comes
Yeah.
to his wife. I'm not talking about his girlfriend. His wife, where he's expecting to have that, that sexual safe space.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yep. Wow. That's intense.
You understand?
That's
It is
intense.
not there, and you have some that they will just sit in it in silence, and just the years are just going. They're like sisters and brothers, and
Wow.
you understand, like friends in the house.
Wow.
Why is that? Men
Men
fail
fail
to
to be
open and
open,
honest
honest.
when asked for examples wrong. Deep down, they're dying and
Yeah.
I will say, because of
It's a good question.
we appreciate that question, Andre Creighton.
Country.
Safe space. You understand? Men love women. Even though at first I said, women love safety.
Yeah.
Safety for men might look different.
That's fine.
Yeah, might look different, where again, men can operate in whatever capacity,
Yeah.
not show emotions, not doing this, but at the same time, he wants to feel safe, where how he brings across his emotions, or how he approaches certain things, it's not put down. Right? He will say something and he's not looked at as, okay, all right, I use this as an example. Boy, babe, something like, why you like that? So
That
a
bother
force- Yeah, like that really bother you, like, why
Yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
Not
we do
because
that a
we're
lot.
tough, not because you're taught to be macho and all that type of stuff. Doesn't mean that there's not something inside of us that wants to feel like, okay, we have somebody that is listening.
Yeah.
And so over time, because of how a wife might respond to his needs, or how they might look at certain things that he really values,
Yeah.
over time it becomes like, okay, make no sense me talk.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense me express. You understand? And then it
Okay.
goes back to even before getting married. Safety was not something that was there for him. Like how he was brought up, he wasn't taught to express himself, express his feelings and all of that type of stuff. He might talk and hope that you will listen, but that is how far it goes.
Okay.
You understand? But safety for a man is really big.
It's big as well.
Is something that is big for a man. You understand? So
Yeah. So you'd say that the number one reason why a man would shy away from saying or expressing to their spouse is safety.
yeah,
Oh.
and then again, you can tell the person that you're with sometimes, meaning that, let's say, how can you tell your wife that, hey, this I need this, or this I need that, when at the same time it doesn't seem like she's that
She-
type of person,
Oh, I see that too.
right?
I see that. Yeah, yeah, I get that point
Yeah,
too.
you study the person that you're with. You're with somebody that you listen how they respond to certain conversations. How they respond
The
to
blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
I heard our husband say that too, for real. So
yeah, how they respond to intimacy. How they show up in the bedroom. Like, yeah, they're just not that type of person. Especially when it comes to the Christian.
the church wife.
Yeah, the church wives.
Yeah.
Like, they're just. Oh no, you want to buy your
wouldn't
wife.
approve.
Yeah, you want to buy your wife a G-string, or you want to buy her a boot.
Man, YouTube.
Sure. You want to buy your wife a thong, or a booty shorts, and
Oh, Lord.
because men are visual creatures. No matter how holy
Should not wear it.
no matter how holy and we speak in tongues and this and that as men,
Yeah.
we are visuals. We are visual creatures, and so you want to step outside of that
Yeah.
churchy thing and just say, listen, babe, listen, we're married. You're my wife. So I'm saying, listen, wear that little shorts, the man, or wear that little thing, and even if he's not the one that is buying it, you
She
as
not
a
buying
wife,
it.
listen, this is what you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let
yeah.
him see that and say, yo, you understand?
Yeah.
You don't want to leave the house.
Mm.
But I truly believe, especially in the church, sex is almost like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Everything
that's true.
else, we do everything else.
Put at the
But
forefront.
yeah, when it comes to intimacy, it's like an afterthought where there's just no fire, there's no flame. You understand? It doesn't always have to be about what the other person is doing. You as the individual can,
Start it up.
yeah, like perfect your game, perfect your art. You
Yeah.
understand? Like, think about, okay, how can I make my husband, like this, or want this?
Yeah.
Like, how can I pique his interest? Like, you understand? Think outside the box.
Make it deliberate.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of men, they want that. They crave that.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell her what to do. I don't have to. You understand? And you don't understand that
Yeah.
there are wives that really don't know, but at the same time,
Yes.
and I
True.
don't want to get too deep in this. I don't want to go off topic, but what I say
Yeah.
is that, and I will paint this scenario. And I said this before. You have a lot of women that they will say a woman's intuition.
Yes.
A woman intuition and a woman intuition. But the woman intuition always pops up when the man is doing something bad.
Yes.
Right?
Well, yeah.
A
Oh, my
woman-
gut feeling told me.
Yeah, when a man is doing something bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, your woman intuition is not chipping in.
Yeah.
Your spidey senses is not chipping in when it comes to
Spidey
really, how can I please my husband? You understand? How can I, let him
Yeah,
feel a little
yeah,
that way. You understand? Make him want to leave work and just run, come home.
Yep.
Spidey senses ain't working.
Yeah, it's
And that is-
limited.
yeah, it is limited.
Short-sighted at that time.
And so that intuition can come into play. Yeah, that intuition can
Someone to say, true.
that intuition can come into play before there's problem in
Yeah.
in the thing. Women turn matlock, jump from plane, climb tree. I've never climbed a tree before. You're climbing over and looking, where is it?
Yes.
Tracking phones and doing all of that. And you have never
Detective.
you have never done that before. You don't even know how to unlock a phone. But when the man is stepping outside, when there's
Yeah.
problem in the household and he's finding it somewhere,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the impossible seem possible. So
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of men, a lot of husbands are saying, listen, I don't want to always tell you what to do. I don't want to always
Yeah.
if you bring up how to please me, how to do this, how to do that. Spend time to know, spend time to gain information and how to do this, how to please him, how to you understand?
Yeah.
Give him that sense that listen, I am focused on pleasing
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Because again, he has forsaken
All
everybody. He
others.
is forsaking everybody for you. So at the end of the day, he's expecting like, listen,
Yeah.
show me say you're
Yeah.
putting in the work. Show me say you're putting
Absolutely.
in the effort. You understand? So
That's
yeah.
That's a good point. And you know, biblically there are so many Bible verses that talk about and hint at when two become one. So the desire is God's idea to be mutual. It's not one-sided.
Yes.
When two become one flesh, you are one. And so another thing that can actually
Wait, before you
affect.
go, there's one thing I want to add based on what you were saying, right? Um again, you know, culture you mentioned culture and how it affect a woman in terms of just not being the pursuer of a man, not doing this or staying in our lane and
Yeah.
you know the man being the pursuer. But at the end of the day, you're now married, right? You have now gotten married.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, is there's no need to feel like you don't have to do this. Again, and I always tell my wife, it's almost like there's no quote unquote boundaries when it comes to
Yeah.
us. Like
But there isn't.
you want
Yeah.
no, what I'm trying to say is that we are married, is our marriage. So at the end of the day, there's no need for you to feel like, okay, I'm not gonna pursue you because
Met you.
yeah, you might shame me or unless you don't
Yeah.
have you don't have that safety. Unless the partner is a person that talks down on you,
Yeah.
make you feel small. I understand that aspect. But if you're in a safe space where you know you're with somebody, listen,
Yeah.
there's nothing for you to feel like, okay, I don't want to, I might look small, I don't want to this, I might look foolish. But at the end of the day, you're making the effort.
Yeah.
You're putting in the effort as a woman. You don't need to feel like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not because I'm gonna feel some
Yeah.
type of way. That is out the door when you got married to that man.
Yeah. Great point.
So it's really now to reprogram your mind to say, listen, when I was single,
Yeah.
listen,
The
this is
body
the standard.
yours.
This is the standard. This is the boundary.
Yeah.
I am now with somebody that listen, I can be naked with. I can, I can explore with. I can,
Yep.
There's no shame. You understand? So
Yeah, so I was saying there isn't because biblically the expectation is her body is no longer hers, it's his, and his body is no longer his, it's hers. So that mutual submission is encouraged even biblically. So there shouldn't be any reservation regarding the who approaches who. It should be mutual. So the other one was the fact that we have to be here saying there shouldn't be, it tells us that there's a deeper problem, right? So one of the other deeper problems that we see a lot, studies show that the shame, when people don't know how to approach another, to be vulnerable and open, naked with them,
Yes.
literally, right? And even emotionally, there's a lot of internal shame going on. The possibility is one of the root causes is there's a lot of shame and body image struggles.
yes.
Anytime you see a spouse who is not, it's not the only problem, but it's one of the biggest problems, that body shame and body image ideologies, even if they're built on a lie,
Yes.
somebody or the wife or the husband is not very confident in being exposed and
Yes.
open and bear it all in front of that spouse.
Yes.
A lot of wives especially say after childbirth, they don't feel that confidence anymore in how they look, how things are hanging, swinging, slapping, you know the drill. It's a lot of people don't feel comfortable. But like my husband said, if you're in an environment where that safety is, then by all means continue to do your thing because your partner appreciates it. They want you to do it. They have that communication open so that it can be established. So the next one is another reason is unhealed trauma. We overlook this a lot, and if you're a spouse who is here and your partner is not able for some reason they're not able. Let me bust a myth for you. I want you guys to listen very carefully. It doesn't matter what trauma you went through. Your experience is one, valid, and two, you don't have to have gone through sexual abuse. It doesn't have to be that you were violated interpersonally. You did not have to be abused sexually as a child. It didn't have to be molestation. It didn't have to be the R word. Any trauma affects the same parts of the brain and the body. Anyone. So if it's a car accident, your relational part of the brain is still affected. And that is a myth that people have. I'm not saying that if you were violated interpersonally, it's not going to bear some weight that is not there if it was a car accident. But at the same time, the same ripple effect, the general ones, the basic aspects, trauma does that in any form. And so with someone who is having a problem being the initiator in sex or relationship or intimacy, it is one of the reason is unhealed trauma. And once again, it doesn't have to be, don't feel like, oh, I have to minimize and dumb down my experience because I was violated. That's not true. Any unhealed trauma is going to bear some of the same imprints as if you were. So please bear that in mind. So especially past experiences where there are cases like infidelity, these are some of the traumatic events in your marriage that can actually cause you not to want to initiate.
Yes.
Because you feel like, say, if you reach out again to the guy or to the woman, they're going to fail me again. It's going to be a disappointment again. It's going to be a negative experience. And if you're following this channel long enough, you know we talk a lot about emotional healing, trauma healing. You know that the brain has a negativity bias. And so even if that person did 10 good and they did 2 wrong, you're going to grab what?
Yes.
The 2 wrongs. Because the brain does not want to be hurt again. The body's number one job is to self-preserve. The body's number one priority is to self-preserve. And so anything that hurts you, anybody who harms you, it's going to take real manifesting, expressing, consistency, continuous doing of trust, safety, vulnerability, validation for you to open up again. Because the brain and the body, they're not going to just open you up and just let you go into the arms of the person who previously hurt you. So once again, unhealed trauma does that too. When you see people struggle to reach after their spouse, their loved one, to initiate in the bedroom, unhealed trauma is also, or could be, one of the factors. So again, it could be past infidelity, shame attached to sexual expression. It makes intimacy feel unsafe. The brain is saying danger, 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 danger. Danger is coming again. Because sometimes sex is associated with control.
Yes.
You feel that control. Being overpowered is a scare. It's a fear factor for some people, men and women, because you don't know what a man went through in his past, in his childhood. And so yes, it's the statistics show it's more on the woman's side, but it also happens with men. Some men don't like a dominating woman because for them it reminds them of their mother, who is the authority figure, and they don't like it. You ever heard about that? Like men who don't like to be dominated by a woman in the bedroom? Like too much of it make him feel anxious. And you want to touch on that?
Yeah. While the mother aspect is a factor, I just feel like men are just naturally dominant, leaders. And so to meet somebody that is that way, you say dominant in the bedroom?
Yeah, like a woman who just aggressive and always throw you down and flick you up and fling you over. You remember Mr. and Mrs. Phoenix? That is like, And then, the wife just lift him up so over her
I just feel like
shoulder.
it's whatever.
The man was so uncomfortable.
In that aspect, it's really based on
What you
that
like?
man's preference. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a man. That's man's preference because again, you have men that like a woman that knows how to take control and I don't know about throw across the room
like
type.
some men who say them don't want it too much, like leave space for him to also make his mark.
Yeah, and again, it's really about balance. Like
Yeah.
you have to know when to step back and you know.
Learn your spouse.
Yeah, it's really about paying attention to your spouse. And I always say, marriage. Once you get married, and this is something that I have learned.
Yeah.
Once you get married, it's like that's like your main focus. Once you get married, that's why the Bible talk about once the woman is her mind is about pleasing her
Yeah.
husband and all of that type of stuff. You're no more a single person that you're free to do whatever. But when you get married, it's now about your partner, pleasing your partner. Like how is everything going?
Yeah, yeah.
Once the marriage is intact, everything else can flourish. Once your marriage is intact, everything
easier, yeah.
it's easy for things to flourish because if you're trying to do this, if you're trying to do that, if you're trying to do a business, if you're in a marriage that is not going right,
Yeah.
it is going to distract you from really reaching your full
right.
potential in any capacity that you're in. You understand? So that is why it's so important that you have to pour into your marriage as much as possible. Learn your partner, take your time to understand their likes and their dislikes, It just really shows you that you it's almost like you love yourself, you value yourself.
Yeah.
Because the partner that you're with reflects you. Two becomes one.
Yeah.
And so it's really about loving yourself, paying attention to yourself in a mirror way.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it you have to prioritize your marriage in a way that you want it to grow. You have to pour
Yeah.
into it. You want to pay attention to your partner, your likes, your dislikes, what makes this go there, and you take it from there.
Yeah.
Right? You really take it from there. But it's based on whose preference. You have men that loves that. And then you have some men that are really dominant, so they want a woman that knows how to submit and just let him do this and let him do that. So it's really, and for a woman, you have some women that really have some strong
So strong domineering traits.
personality.
Yeah.
You understand? But again, it doesn't work well when you're dealing with a man that requires submission, requires you to be open and listen, and you understand?
Yeah.
Follow his lead. Yeah, you have to have that balance. It's you have to know balance.
You have to have that balance.
Yeah, you have
right.
to have that balance.
Okay.
So,
Great answer. Great answer. So the next one is the next one is emotional disconnection. One of the reasons why people find it very hard to connect or to reach out or to initiate. And it reminds me of a quote that I heard psychologically. There's something we have in trauma that says, you cannot connect to anything you fear, you hate, or you judge. Once you judge somebody or something, you don't have a biological authentic connection to that thing or that person. And it is so true, because if you are in a home, in a marriage, once there is that unresolved conflict, once there is some kind of criticism, you heard your partner shade you before or throw what do you call that, low blow, or you heard your partner throw you under the bus one time, and not literally guys, but you heard some sort of criticism or some sort of talking down to, it is not easy to actually want to reach out to this person sexually. So it is a lot of emotional disconnect that's going on between couples that they may not have spoken about. It may not have been resolved. Like you said earlier, the resentment is secret.
yes.
If there's a secret resentment going on, and when it's time for intimacy, it shows. It shows. Even if there is compliance, doesn't always mean you are completely into it.
Yes.
Not because you complied mean you gave. You know, the wheel of consent, not because you complied mean you gave. So you're not a part of it. The emotional disconnection. That is why communication with the each other is so important, because you get to air out all these little itches and glitches. You get to air them out. You get to really ask some questions like, why is this not going that way? Why? What do you like? What do you not like? And so another one is performance anxiety. Why is it that some people can't seem to initiate performance anxiety? Sometimes there is a fear, especially, I don't want to say especially, because this can happen on both sides. A man or a woman can actually feel like they'll never satisfy their spouse like another person, like the girls they see on TV and on IG, like the girls they see on Instagram, like the girls that the husband had in the past, or the husband may be saying, I'll never match up to the man I hear she likes. So the anxiety, the fear behind performance is very real. And so what do? They lay back and they allow the spouse to reach over and do, because they have that fear that they will never be a right fit. They won't do it right. Are they doing it right? Am I doing it right? You know? So and I hear some spouse talk about doing it in clothes because them don't want certain parts of them show. They don't want to show certain body parts because there is the fear and the shame.
And turn the lights
Turn
off.
the lights off, go under the sheet because
Yes.
because they don't want certain openness. It feels embarrassing. Even in a marriage, it feels embarrassing. The next one is mismatched desire levels. Why is it that some people can't reach out? This is a big one, because some a spouse desire can be not at the same level as the other one. What you gonna do? So you'll find that one is reaching out more often because that one's desire is a little bit higher. That's why open communication is so important. And then the one who reaches out a lot seem pushy and needy
Thirsty.
and thirsty and pressuring because the desire is not at the same level.
You know what
Come on now,
What-
speak
what-
on that.
what I do want to say though, what I do want to say, and this is really big, especially in our culture, especially when it comes to men, right? When it comes to men in our culture, in this day and age in our culture, we really don't know the art of lovemaking,
Yeah.
right? Really don't know the art of
Come on.
true intimacy.
Yes.
And it's not really about the you know the you understand?
Yes.
The daggering, like that is what we were brought up in. That's a place we were brought
Yeah,
up
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Right, where we don't really understand what true intimacy looks
Yeah.
like.
Pleasure. Okay, pleasure.
You understand? We're talking
Yeah.
about buying your lady flowers, like different things that helps to foster that level
bond.
of bonding, the
Yes.
bonding process. And so for a lot of couples, it's really just enter into the bedroom and we
And
just
enter.
we just we just dive in and
Yeah.
and roll over, like nobody's cuddling and really talking and sharing. So that is one of the reasons why there's so many disconnect in really how we approach
Yeah.
intimacy on a whole.
Yeah.
A lot of men really don't know how to really
Slow it down.
no, it is
It's true.
it is serious.
Yeah. Yep.
You understand? We don't really understand what it is to really, serenade your wife into that place, that safe place. You talk down, we behave in other way.
Aggressive.
The aggressive way. You understand? There's no emotional safety.
Yeah. The lack of trust.
So just imagine you're not doing those things that really, you understand? That makes her feel special.
Yeah.
right? Outside of the sexual part, you're not doing all of that. It's talk down, it's this, it's that. But at the same time, we want her to, you know,
Top notch.
yeah, to show up, like to
Yes.
be emotionally there and to just get into it. It's not gonna
It's not
work.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
You get what I'm saying, guys? To rub her feet and give her a little
Come on.
massage, you understand?
Yeah.
Like it begins from there.
Yeah.
So if we're not at that place where we're incorporating these little things or these things that we might consider they're not really important, we're always going to be stuck at, hey,
Yeah.
go in the room, lock off the light, bam, 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 and then we just leave and that's it.
Yeah. And they say, get some. But what did you get, really? Because the struggle is going to have to be there again to start over the process, and it just feel lame.
You understand? And so you're not creating that safe space. You're not creating that moment where we can really be open, we can really be vulnerable, we can really talk. Like after that moment you can really lay down and share, like, babe, how you feel. Like you can say, listen, that was good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, me like that, and you know, so we
I
like
never
that.
like that.
Or, you know, we don't like, you know, people are not communicating. We don't really know the art of communicating
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't know that. And so a lot of these in these situations, you know, in let's say in our marriages, we have to get to that place where we foster that out of our partner. If they
Yes.
don't know or how to do it, pray that you know that you can foster that out
Yeah.
of your partner. How you do that? You ask questions, not where did you last night? Or well, it's really like, babe, how do you feel when I do this? Or babe, how do you feel in the moments when I rub your shoulders? Like these little questions
Yeah.
foster that environment where the, the person can open their mind to you know, to sharing their emotions and how they feel about
their
it
desires,
and their
yeah.
desires, and you navigate from there.
That's a great point. That's a great
Right?
point.
You're laying there, let's say you're laying there and this is happening and you don't like it and you're not saying anything.
Yes,
You understand? You're not,
Yeah.
nobody's saying it. You just do whatever and then you're just done.
Just
You just
tolerate.
leave not knowing how each other feels about this and how each other feels about that.
Yep. Silence creates hesitation.
Most men want it, but don't expect to ever really do the same things they expect to get, except I think most
Of the
intimate things are
for the
females.
females. That's a great point too.
yes.
That part where the intimacy, again, it's culture. We have to disrupt culture.
Yes.
The cultural control and the programming, the conditioning is a cultural thing. If you and your spouse have the same emotions, and when we go to the tips now, we're gonna share some tips. One of the biggest thing is, like you shared, the deliberate action is not there for intimacy.
Hey, Bradley.
Hey, hi. So there are so many other things we put at the forefront of life. We want to look good, we want to do the ear, we want to smell good, we want to have on the nice heels, we want to match,
Yes.
you know, for you and the man. But then when last you take a sex ed class together? When last have you gone to a seminar together as a couple? When last have you all bought a book so that you can read together about human development and what makes the body tick, or, you know, like healing the mind and the body for relationships? When last have you guys gone to a couple session? When last have you spoken to your pastor or somebody who is versed in the area of trauma and relationship, or relationship and marriages, or whatever it is? When last have you invested in a nice little dinner, go eat one ice cream, something that will educate you? And if you can't go that route, when last you watch a YouTube video together that talks about love and relationship? When last you watch a movie together? When last you read the Bible together that talks about relationship and oneness, and the two shall become one, and you discuss with each other and you ask one another what you think it mean, and long suffering and forbearing and trust and charity? These things are deliberate practices. And if it can't be done deliberately, it should not be a mishap or a ripple effect. Marriage and love and intimacy and good sex. Listen, when we have couples that come to us for support and guidance and coaching and whatever, sometimes we have to tell them to redefine intimacy.
Yes.
Because not you, your intimacy is not my intimacy.
Yes.
And my intimacy is not yours. Why? Because my intimacy is built on my experience.
Yes.
My past experience is not yours. And so I can't watch a movie, see Hollywood version of sex and love and marriage, and go create something that is far-fetched, that's gonna re-traumatize me.
Yes.
So sometimes you have to create your own stardom. Sometimes you have to create your own show, like iron out your own kinks, because guess what? Your experience is different. And so what you can tolerate, I may not be able to tolerate. What I tolerate, you may not be able to tolerate, because what I do or what we do may trigger you because of what have happened to you in the past. So intimacy is relative. Yes, there's a general, broad idea, definition, but at the same time, there are some details. Like Andre said, there are some little details, the little intimate things that are ideal for a woman that a man is not going to agree to. And there's some things that a man would want, that agreement must be one of the main things. Agreement, safety, and this other one that I'm big on, respect, must be in that intimate equation. Because if you're doing something that is not, it's not respectful in terms of my eyes, if you're doing something to me that I feel disrespected by, you're not going to get that in sync feeling.
Yes.
You're going to get a pushback, and then the spouse start afraid of you because you are a threat at this point in the bedroom. Safety is big. Respect, mutual agreement, and communication is another very big, or others that are big in fostering this intimacy, so that your spouse feels safe to reach out to you and initiate intimacy and sex. So what are some tips that we can help spouses to feel safe in practicing how to reach for your partner? You want to share any? Or you want me to start?
No, you say go.
All right. So one of the main thing is set a deliberate alarm to talk about sex. Set an alarm every Friday. Start small, because 1 week, every Friday at 6 p.m. set your alarm. And then you guys have to start practicing normalizing talking about sex and intimacy until it becomes the norm.
Yes.
Right? So practice, normalize talking about it. Create I statements. I desire. Create some I statements. What do you like? So start with I. Don't point no finger. Start with the big finger. I desire. I like. So start to create some I statements. And the other part of it, I feel nervous when. I feel fear if you bite me on my toe. I feel really afraid. But you know, sometimes remember, the intimacy is defined differently because of what you've been through. So if biting your toes remind you of when a dog attacked you when you were a child, you want to stay away from that because that's re-triggering. So if you never process that event, you have to be careful of what you introduce in your bedroom. So normalize speaking about the I statements. I desire, I feel a nervousness, I feel a fear, I feel guilty, I feel shame, because that you did or that you said in my ear reminded me of when so and so. So you have to start developing those kind of sentence frames for your communication. All right, the next one is to start with building emotional connected. The next one, number 2, start with rebuilding emotional connection first. So the emotional connection, after you build your I statements, I desire, I feel fear when, I feel nervousness when, you start to do things now that will keep you guys as each other's safety net. So sometimes when other people would be, oh, it's a night, Valentine's night, and you know, everybody just doing the do, you probably have to know, just say, tonight we're gonna just lay in each other's arms. Because the definition for intimacy is different for each couple. So your version is created according to your reality.
Yes.
So you build the emotional connection first. Rebuild the emotional connection. Some of the things that you do outside the bedroom, eye contact, leaning on each other's shoulder, grabbing each other's hand, the little smacking here and there, the rubbing the shoulder, the rubbing the feet. Rebuild a bond. Touch each other daily. Touch each other daily. For some couples, kissing is a big thing. For some, again, emotional connection gone, but no one kiss nobody. Touch each other, little peck right here, little kiss on the mouth. Touch each other daily, so that helps to spark and keep your skin, especially in healing. We talk a lot about skin, the touch of the human body.
Yes.
It is needed in reassuring. I feel you, I see you, I validate you, I love you, we are close, because you touch the skin.
And
Send that message.
using I love you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of couples, I promise you, I love you is the last thing that comes out of their mouth, because
Yeah.
you're not cultured that way. It has to be
A special
some people they have to
moment.
write it, you understand.
Yeah.
Get into that frame of mind where you can verbalize saying, you can say I love you. It doesn't have to be on a special occasion. I always say
Or
that.
on Facebook.
Or on Facebook, I love you. Random moments, I love you.
Yeah.
Let it become a part of your relationship. And again, I like the whole aspect of touching, love, hugging. Sometimes you have to spend some time hug your partner.
No words.
Yeah, they're
just
cooking, hug them.
just
You
hug.
understand? They're just there, you hug them. Like,
Yeah,
guys.
just embrace. It's powerful. It is powerful, especially the touch one. Very powerful. There's so many stories I could tell you, especially with healing and trauma, and when that person is touched, and the tears, and the breaking down. Touch is powerful. The other one is to reduce the fear of rejection, especially for men. Men face this a lot. If ladies, you're not in the mood, replace the "me can't bother" or "you're just too much" with a positive. I'm not in the mood tonight, but I'd love to tomorrow. So leave a sentence frame in their mind of a positive. Have something that is they're actually looking forward to. So when you shut it down completely, like he said earlier, there's a seed of resentment that is formed. And when a man have a seed of resentment, wife, it hard to take it out of them head about us. When a woman has a resentment seed in the mind, it is hard to remove it from our minds. So we have to have each other's back. Do not leave anything permanent in your spouse's head about you that is negative. Remember, biologically, it is not possible to connect to anything that you hate, you judge, or you criticize. Your body is going to scream danger. You are dangerous. You are a threat to that person, even though y'all married. You guys are married, but you're still the threat emotionally. So let them down easily by "I'd love to tomorrow," or "I always love when you do this for me," "I always love when you reach out to me, but tonight I'm not really feeling so well," or whatever. But always leave a positive statement to cushion the blow of hearing "not tonight," or "may we try this again tomorrow." Okay? So the other one is, you like that one, right? About
Yeah.
So the next one is, another tip is to heal the body shame, the body images. Explore things like non-sexual touch. And listen, we're giving you some very good tips because these are things that we teach on, like real presentation. Explore non-sexual touch. There's an expression we have when there was one thing we taught on the other some months ago about interpersonal violation and the trauma that is resided in the body after there's some sort of violation that causes people not to be, they don't want to be touched. Don't touch them, don't hug them. I see a lot of cases where women are asleep, their spouse foot touch them, and they jump up in fear and ready in attack mode because they were reminded, the body, the flashback goes to the time when they were molested. So they are in anger, they're in fear. The spouse can't calm them because that involves touch. You have to also practice things like knowing that interpersonal violation is considered soul murder. Soul murder. So when we talk about the soul being wounded and hurt, it takes a lot to remedy that heart. And so things that are not threatening, like don't touch me, but reassure me. Honey, or whatever you call your partner, breathe. Breathe. Hold the shoulders, breathe. I am here, breathe. So it doesn't have to be you rub up the private area, because some spouse feel like that's all they're there for. And you threaten them. If every time you touch your spouse is something sexual, you're sending a message like you're only here to fulfill this. Establish non-sexual touches as well. So shoulder touch, head rub, hair massage, head massage, hair rub, face to face, I see you, hand on the hand. Establish non-sexual touch. You can research those as well, because that helps to actually like speak life into your partner.
Yes.
You're actually speaking life from a sincere, genuine place. And especially for wives, wives don't feel like they're just some call girls and some little toys that them have this bag of work to do. Housework, pitney work, job work, man work, and you're still adding every time you see me, you just want to feel me up, touch me up. That's not what the woman is there for alone. And the man too. So establish speaking life. You can't tear each other down and you just want to have a nice time in the bedroom. That's not going to be possible. So speak life into each other. It's not all about just wanting to dive in each other. You are also human and you are not a piece of meat. You want to feel that validation as well. So explore those things to feel desired still. Listen, I still rate you, I still love you, but I'm not trying to pressure you into something sexual, but I still desire you. Still check for you. All right. So the next one is to share the responsibility of initiation. Share with your spouse how you'd want to be called into the moment. Ring a bell. Ring a bell. You can have an alarm. Alarm is kind of not cutesy, right? But set your own momentum. Like, what would you want? And how would you want you're supposed to initiate? You want to just leave it up to them? Or do you want to just add your cute moment and say, this is how I want you to do it for me? So do that, right? The next one, you want to share anyone I'm going? I think I have two more.
Go in.
The next one is to let go. Somebody say let go. Let go, release the cultural programming. Release the cultural programming. Release it. Release them. Release the cultural programming. So there are some programmings like women shouldn't be that bold. Release it. Listen, we all struggle with Lego, Samantha, Lego boya. So we all struggle with these things, you know. When I was getting married, I remember a lady said to me, Shanice, I have one advice for you. Actually, one gave me one and another person gave me another one. One, only you can make you happy.
Yes.
That was one of them that I remember every year, every day, every anniversary. Only you can make you happy. Your spouse adds to this. Your spouse adds to you feeling good. But if in yourself you don't feel good, you don't have a strong sense of self, you don't have a strong self-value, identity, the man can shower you with praises and you still feel shame.
Yes.
You still feel guilty. You still feel yucky. You still feel like you're not good enough. Only you can make you happy. And the second one that really touched me was let go the scripts.
Yes.
I never know what that mean until I got married, because I still held on to a lot of script. But the programming, the norm, don't wear that, don't shave that, don't do that, don't look good there, so don't put on that, was so thick, heavy. The script was running the show. Yeah, a woman shouldn't say this in bed. Don't say that. A Christian couple shouldn't. I mean, I know that there are parameters. Because it doesn't matter what setting, you're still a child of God. But at the same time, there's some programmings that must be let go. You know what is the programming in your marriage. We don't need to sit here the whole night trying to figure out every whims and schemes of what areas, because it's late. You know the programming in your marriage. You know what you need to let go. I should go and hang with my friends and family, even though my husband says spend the night with me. I should spend 6 nights over my mother's home, even though my husband said let's do 3 at home as a family. You know. You know the little things you put over your marriage and your husband and your spouse and your wife. You know. And if you're not sure, ask somebody if it's normal and okay. And see, gauge it. All right, so the next one is work on resentment and the daily load and responsibilities that a lot of spouses tug a war with during the day. You're not helping me, but you want me to be the best person in the bedroom at night. Work on helping each other. Responsibilities. Self-explanatory. Because if you don't feel seen and supported, why you want her to be intimate and why you want him to be all up in your face at nights? You need to help. Help in the house. Help in the house.
Yes.
Okay? Share the responsibility. The next one is, so the last two for tonight, focus on pleasure. I think you said that. Focus on pleasure and not performance. If you are moving towards your spouse from a basis of, I just want him to feel this, hey, feel this. Feel a certain way. Like, that's the feeling you want to give off. You're not worried about performance. Because you may not be doing it right, you know. Sometimes.
You're trying.
Sometimes you're doing a thing and you'll bust out a laugh. You're laughing at your own self because you know you're not doing it right. But at the same time, it's just fun and pleasure, and that's what your aim is. Take your time. Some of us don't do nothing, you know, the stellar way like we see in the movies, but it's pleasure and it's over performance. Somebody would say quality over quantity. So go ahead and get away from the perfect sex goal. There is none. So enjoy each other's presence and closeness. Enjoy each other's presence. Laugh together, experiment, and just take the pressure off by experimenting together. And the last one is to create traditions of invitation. This is a very nice one that I like, to make the marriage a safe place where you handle rejection well, in terms of be careful how you're talking to each other, and to reduce shame and increase desire.
Yes.
So gentle ways that you are developing to say, all right, a little phrase when you hear when you hear your husband say the phrase, the secret phrase, you don't want your family members and the children know what it is. So you create a nice little phrase, and then every time you say it, you know, say, all right, it's time to, that's my invitation for you, sir or ma'am, that is my invitation for you. And there's another one, you could use music. So every time your husband hear you start playing a certain song there, them know say, yeah, she's calling me. She's calling me. Or a candlelight. If you just go walk in your bedroom and you see a candlelight on the dresser, a candle is lit, you know, say, oh, she's ready. She's telling me, or he's ready. He's telling me to get over here. Or a playful code word. It's vast. There's so many things you can explore.
Amen.
And do. All right.
Amen.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
How y'all feel? Samantha, how you feeling? Andre, how you feeling? Bradley, how you feeling? The rest of you from Brazil, where are my friends from Brazil? How are you guys feeling? So thank you guys. Thank you for being out. Go ahead and close us out, Sir Boog.
Thank you guys
for get silent, Bowie.
Yes, it's getting late.
Well,
you know, thank you guys for coming on. You know, we really appreciate you being on with us tonight. I do hope whatever we have said tonight, you know, will really impact you know, somebody's marriage. Again, you know, it's really about growth, and if you don't have a growth mindset, you'll be stuck. Hi,
Hey,
Monique.
Monique.
You if you don't have a growth mindset, you will stuck. Marriage is about growth.
Yeah.
It's about implementing things that helps your marriage to grow. A lot of times, and I don't want to be long. A lot of us, we enter into we enter into our marriage with the same mindset that we had 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
especially for those that are we got married early, and so we really did not get the opportunity to develop because we feel like whatever we have is the it.
Yeah.
And so you realize that okay, after 10 years of marriage, after 5 years of marriage, there's nothing to show but arguments and toxicity.
And bills.
Yeah, and bills, and children. And so you have to get into that place where you realize that there's more to marriage than this.
Yep.
And what do I mean? I mean that it's time to be deliberate. It's time to be open and willing to explore different what I mean, information and different ways of just grooming your marriage. You understand? Step out of your comfort zone. And what I mean comfort zone, as you were talking, what come to me is that you have so many persons that get married with a certain ideology, and that ideology is just based on background. They don't know nothing outside of what they know.
Yeah.
You have a lot of persons, they really don't get the vision until, let's say, they travel. Oh my God, you must say this, like that. They must say train, they must say plane. Their minds become open, like, whoa, this is really going on.
Yeah.
And so you really don't know that, listen, there is more to this. You understand? How do I feel if my husband buys me a rose?
Yeah.
How do I feel if my wife, does this, like something that you're just not used to?
Yeah.
You understand? It gives a different feeling. It comes with a different emotion. It comes with a different drive.
Yeah.
And so it's really seeking to, implement things that you really don't, you weren't really aware of.
It's outside the box.
Yeah, step outside of that little box that you're in, and just make your marriage flourish. You understand? It's really being deliberate about how you're operating in your marriage, and realize that, listen, we're two different persons, we're two different people, we're two imperfect people coming together and just trying to make this work.
Amen.
A lot of persons know a lot of things to do, but don't really do them and expect the results
The
just
same way, right?
That is another thing also. And again, it really goes back to the mindset that you have. If you have a mindset that you just feel like, okay, it is what it is,
That's a very good point.
your marriage is going to be, it is what it is. And you're going to see couples flourishing. You're going to see couples growing in their marriage.
And blame your spouse.
And you start blaming each other, who now do this, and all it takes is just to get on the same page and making that conscious
Just
decision
start.
to make just one step at a time.
Yeah.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
Yeah.
You understand? One step at a time. So guys,
Yeah. Just start.
yeah, just put one foot in front of the other. Day by day implementing things. Husbands, respect your wives, love your wife, cherish your wife. You understand? Put the effort into making her feel special, and I promise you, you treat her good, she's gonna treat you good. You understand?
They're gonna treat you good. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Treat you good.
So, yes, guys. Blessings.
All right.
You want to talk about the Zoom thing, like, to get them understanding? Or are you just going to leave that for another time?
You can leave. Look out for a Zoom promotion, guys. We're gonna be hosting couples. Was it couples alone? Or is it couples and singles?
Yeah, one for couples. And
One for couples, one for singles. I love the
okay.
conversation. Hey, Monique.
Amen.
Absolutely. We are looking for you to be in touch.
Yeah, so we're planning on doing a Zoom meeting, guys, where couples can come on and
We're gonna have
share.
a debate.
Yeah, we know information, like have that little safe space for couples
With different
to
couples.
share. And if you don't even want to talk, you can. We're going to set it up that you.
It will be, live.
Like your questions, and somebody will
Anonymous.
read it out, and we're going to have persons on with us that whatever the topic is, they can, they can share their knowledge, and you can get the information that you want. So look out for that, guys. Look out for
that. And we're not doing
that.
it on YouTube because YouTube will flag the channel for certain information. And not only that, when it is so open on the World Wide Web, a lot of people are a little bit hesitant to share. So their business is their business, and we have to respect that. So we will do it on Zoom where it's private, and we can go in and real and raw,
Yes.
and not worry about YouTube laws, okay? So that's what we're going to be hosting, doing a debate versus the couples, different couples across the world who will be challenging a certain topic, and then we have one for the singles who will be challenging a certain topic.
Yes, guys. So you can be on with your husband, and you ask again. If you're not willing to ask the questions, you can type it in, and we're gonna have somebody that's gonna read it out. To the present, whether to us, to us and
Or the guests.
or who else is gonna be there to answer questions. So you can get a broader perspective on how to navigate in your marriage, and for those that are single, how to navigate in their single life. So
Okay.
look out for that, guys.
If you are not subscribed,
Yes.
hit that subscribe button. If you did not like, double tap the screen.
Yes.
And see you guys on Monday.
Like the live, guys. Like the live.
Yes, like and
Have
share.
a good night, guys. Blessings.
Bye-bye.